Hey everybody, it's Michael Nelson. I'm the founder and CEO of the Cogent Consulting Group. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to solve your most challenging business problem. When I work with small business owners, almost universally, there are two large problems that they bring up. One, they need to capture more clients, and two, they need to capture more time back into their lives. And in this offer, which I'll tell you more about later, we'll talk to you about how to address that. So first, marketing, bringing in clients. Why is it such a challenge? Well, in most cases, it starts with the fact that a lot of small business owners can't really identify the outcomes they produce. What's in it for me from a client's perspective? Why should I do business with you? What problems do you solve? What solutions do you bring to the table? How do you save me time? How do you save me money? What outcomes do you provide? And then secondly, who do you provide them to? So if you don't know the outcomes you provide, it becomes very hard to write a marketing message, to tell people who you are, what you do, what outcomes you bring to the table. And if you don't know who your exact client segments are, it really becomes hard to pin down that message. If you try and be a business coach, say, like I am, but instead of having a targeted audience where I try and work with service providers with 10 or fewer employees, if I were to say I work with small business owners, well, how do I write a message to that with 20, 30 million small businesses? I can't address a message that rings to everyone, and so then marketing becomes a problem. Second is the actual marketing and sales process. There seems to be a real lack of understanding about how to go about doing it. It's very complicated until you sit down, sort it out, come up with a plan, a process, and then it becomes really kind of clear and second nature. Marketing is just getting the word out, getting a message out, finding strangers and making them prospects, bringing them in your front door, bringing them to your website, having them read some of your materials, meeting them face to face and talking about your business. Sales starts when that stranger has become a prospect. Sales works them from being a prospect through being a customer of yours. And a lot of times these are done in a really ad hoc fashion. And a lot of times this coincides with the feast or famine cycle. I get business, I do the business, life is great, that particular job ends, holy cow, I need to find more work. Now I go out and I do marketing, I try and do some sales, I panic, I'm working as much as I can. And then I capture work. I'm happy, I do the work, and it starts all over again. And so that lack of an understanding of the marketing and sales process and a flow and the messaging is also a major hurdle and problem. And the third component I think why marketing is such a problem for people is the lack of a plan. The lack of a coherent plan that sees you focused on a particular set of actions where you're going to do this. You expect to see these results, you're budgeting this much for it, and then you monitor. Did it work? Did it not work? What can I do better? What can I add to it? Etc. That's missing a lot of times, and that is real, it's a challenging hurdle to get over. Time. Time is another huge problem for a small business owner. And no one starts their business to do nothing but work. And that's what a lot of small business owners do. There's that standing joke that if you're a small business owner, you can work any 90 hours of the week that you want to. You get to pick. And that's not why we did this. That's not the freedom we were looking for. And that's not the satisfaction that we want. So how do we deal with that? Why is time such a problem? Well, in large part, it's kind of preparation. Understanding business. What's your marketing? What's your sales? What are those processes? What do your operations look like? How do you produce a product? Knowing all these basic business things, and that's not even getting into, say, human resources or insurance or taxes or billing and receiving. All of those things, are specialties too, but it's that basic lack of knowledge about business and the structure of a business all focused towards goals and being prepared to do that. Instead, what we find is a lot of people, they're going this way this week. I'm going to try this. That didn't work. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this. And not tracking those results and not taking from them what worked and what didn't and trying to understand why and doing it differently next time. And so we get a lot of willy-nilly movement and actions and activities from small business owners that aren't producing the results that they both want and deserve. And so it's a matter really of being prepared, knowing what you need to do, having goals, and then having a plan in place, but being ready to adapt when that plan doesn't work out. So you're prepared if I run into this obstacle and I look at it, I analyze it, yep, I need to alter, but I'm prepared to do that, I'm comfortable, I'm going to go off this way. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel because I've already prepared myself, I'm familiar with business, I have a sound foundation, a structure, and I'm ready to execute on that. So those are the two biggest challenges that we find almost universally across small businesses. And so my offer to you is 60 minutes of my time, you and I together. I'll call you, give me your phone number that you want to be called at. We'll set up the time, and over the phone, we'll identify your biggest challenge. And we'll find the root cause. Not just marketing, for instance, but why? What component? What needs to be done? Then we'll figure out why it's such a challenge, why your actions haven't been able to overcome those, what you've done, what you haven't done, and then together we'll craft a plan. We'll put some action steps in place for you to overcome that problem. And that's my gift to you as long as this offer lasts. And so, why am I doing this? Well, I'm a problem solver at heart. I love a challenge, I love a problem. So in a way, this is kind of fun for me. I get to sit down, I get to meet new people, I get to hear about some of their challenges, and we work together to come up with a solution. Way for me to give back a little bit too, which I enjoy. And it's a way for you to have a free introduction into business coaching. What's it like to work with a business coach? What's it like to work with Michael Nelson? Are we a match? Do we fit? Who do you need to find as a coach? You know, is there a character or a personality that you really look for and you respond to and resonates with you? And how do you find that person, etc.? So it's a chance for you to try things on and see how it works for you, and at the same time, you get an outcome from it as well. So why listen to me? Who am I? Other than, the founder and CEO of the Coaching Consulting Group. Well, my background is I've spent probably 25 years either in big organizations like the Marine Corps, where I served on the staff of the Commandant of the Marine Corps, or consulting to large firms. And I've done a lot of strategy work, process improvement work, performance measurement work, all things focused on helping organizations understand and move towards their goals. I've worked for multi-billion-dollar corporations whose revenues were in the tens of millions, so that whole range in between. I typically end up working for the C-suite, the chief information officer, operating officer, financial officer, etc., the people that run the business, that make the decisions. And so my experience from that has really helped me figure out the wheat from the chaff. What works, what works quickly, what works well, what doesn't work. I've also worked for the White House. I've done strategy work for the White House. And then on the flip side, I've spent also the better part of the last 20 years as an entrepreneur in one way, shape, or form, including right now owning this business. And so I've seen it from this side too. And I've had a chance to go through and take what works from big business, distill it into small business, into something that's practical, it's quick, it's easy to implement. It doesn't require large investments to do, which big business does. And I developed what I call the E3 Business Transformation System, which takes the best of both worlds, blends it into a quick and hard-hitting, outcome-oriented process to drive a small business from where they are today through setting goals and having action steps and plans to get there and really making leaps and bounds towards those goals. So that's my background, and my offer to you is you and me on the phone, 60 minutes, your biggest problem. Let's craft a solution. I'm looking forward to working with you. Have a great day.